Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into the fascinating world of the baobab fruit. We're going to explore everything about this incredible plant, from its centuries-old cultural roots right through to its highly impressive, clinically proven biological benefits.
All right, so I want you to picture something for a second. What on earth has 10 times the antioxidants of an apple, double the calcium of milk, and tastes like citrus? It's a pretty brilliant question, right? Because the answer completely upends what we think we know about our everyday go-to superfoods. Well, the answer is the fruit of the Adansonia. That's the fancy scientific name for the baobab tree. And when I say tree, I mean a literal giant. This towering plant is native to Africa, Arabia, Australia, and Madagascar, and it grows up to a staggering 98 feet tall. Known globally as the tree of life, it produces a fruit that has been an absolute nutritional and medicinal staple for centuries.
And it is so deeply embedded in local cultures. Across the African continent, the fruit goes by many beautiful regional names. It's known as bouyai in Senegal, kiri bonbon in Guinea, and mabuyu in East and Southern Africa. Each of these names is intricately tied to a really rich culinary heritage where the fruit has been brewed with local spices for generations.
Okay, let's look at the numbers, because honestly, side by side, the baobab pulp absolutely obliterates our standard household staples when it comes to nutrient density. We are talking about 6 times more vitamin C than your standard orange, and double the calcium of milk. It packs 10 times the antioxidants of an apple, and 4 times more than a kiwi. It's literally a nutritional powerhouse.
If we zoom in a bit to the micro level, the efficiency here is wild. Just 20 grams of dried baobab powder, which is roughly 2 tablespoons, so not a lot, delivers this massive nutritional payload for a mere 50 calories. It contains 16 grams of carbohydrates, 9 grams of fiber, and 1 gram of protein, sitting right alongside essential minerals like magnesium and potassium. But here is a real kicker. The absolutely crucial point is that massive fiber content. Nearly 50% of the dietary fiber found in baobab pulp is this unique mix of soluble and insoluble fibers. So, when you consume this, it acts as a very powerful prebiotic, meaning it travels through your gastrointestinal tract undigested and directly feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, effectively optimizing your entire gut microbiome.
And you know, the clinical benefits, they go way beyond just basic digestion. Scientific studies reveal a really impressive list of disease-preventative properties, all driven by active compounds like phenolic acids and flavonoids. Beyond just feeding your gut flora, baobab actually exhibits antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties. It shows anti-diabetic effects, anti-cancer potential, and it actively helps regulate cholesterol to protect your overall heart health.
Actually, let's look at a real-world scenario that brilliantly illustrates its anti-diabetic effect. Researchers did this fascinating study where they compared the bodily response of eating just plain white bread versus eating white bread baked with baobab extract. Get this, adding baobab to the bread significantly reduced the amount of rapidly digested starch. It slowed down the spike in blood sugar levels and actually decreased the amount of insulin the body needed to manage that blood sugar. That is fantastic news for metabolic health.
And naturally, this exact same mechanism helps with weight management too. One trial actually found that a smoothie containing just 15 grams of baobab extract significantly reduced feelings of hunger compared to a placebo drink. Because that dense fiber moves through your system so gradually, it slows stomach emptying. So it naturally curbs your cravings and keeps you feeling full for way longer.
All right, so with all these dense, science-backed benefits laid out, you're probably thinking, okay, great, but how do I actually drink this ancient superfood? Like, how do we easily apply this theoretical science to our own kitchens? Well, that brings us to a frankly delicious, traditional West African beverage called boui. This recipe perfectly masks all that heavy nutritional science behind a creamy, refreshing, citrus-like flavor. It's a wonderful aromatic mix of baobab powder, plant milk, cane sugar, vanilla, and orange blossom water. In creating this tradition in a glass, it's incredibly simple to do at home. Basically, you just take 3/4 of a cup of baobab powder in a bowl. Gradually whisk in 1 liter of water and 1 liter of oat milk until it's nice and smooth. Strain that liquid through a sieve and then stir in 1/2 cup of organic cane sugar, a splash of vanilla, and your orange blossom water. Pop it in the fridge to chill for an hour and boom, you have a perfect daily energy boost.
But hey, I get it. If you're short on time, you really don't have to brew a full batch of bouillet from scratch every single morning. This highly accessible powder offers some great modern convenience too. You can seamlessly blend it right into the foods you're already eating. Try mixing a spoonful of the powder into your morning smoothies, your fresh juices, or your tea. You can even just sprinkle it directly over your yogurt or your oatmeal for an instant flavor-packed antioxidant boost.
Now, just a quick heads up before you go completely overhauling your pantry, let's talk safety. Baobab does contain some anti-nutrients, things like phytates and tannins, which can technically reduce nutrient absorption. However, these levels are way too low to be a concern for anyone eating a normal, balanced diet. The exact same goes for cyclopropanoid fatty acids, which are vastly reduced during the processing stage anyway. It is advised, though, that pregnant or breastfeeding women consume it in moderation, and maybe just check with a doctor first.
So, zooming back out to the macro level for a second, your choice to consume Baobab actually does a lot more than just heal your gut. It has a profound global impact. Increased cultivation and commercialization of Baobab can actually contribute to poverty alleviation and food security. By creating demand for it, we are actively helping to address hidden hunger and supporting African agricultural economies on a massive scale. So, knowing that a single glass of this incredible fruit can do everything from combating micronutrient deficiencies to soothing inflammation and even supporting global agriculture, I want to leave you with this final thought. How will you incorporate this ancient, science-backed tree of life into your modern daily routine? Seriously, think about it. Maybe try out that Baobab recipe and just start experimenting in your kitchen. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope you've learned something fascinating today.